So here are some really important exercises for the knees that you're probably not implementing, but you should start today to improve your knee health and decrease the likelihood of getting injured on the jiu-jitsu mats. Let's get into it. So when we're looking at knee injuries and knee health, a lot of meniscus injuries on the jiu-jitsu mats occur with a rotational or torsion type injury where either you're getting a toe hold or some type of heel hook where your shin is rotated onto your knee and you get an injury there. It's sometimes a meniscus injury, some other injuries can occur, but meniscus are very common in jiu-jitsu. So people understand that the knee is a hinge joint, the knee straightens and bends. But what people sometimes don't remember or don't realize that the shin or the knee actually rotates in and out, it actually articulates on the knee. So the shin bone actually rotates outward and inward. And that motion is really, really important to train. And if you're not training that movement, you're going to put yourself at risk of getting injured if someone gets a hold of your leg. So let's start with some simple exercises to work on that mobility in that shin, right? The shin on the knee component. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna keep our leg in front of us. Our foot is gonna be in line with our shin. And we're gonna work on rotating the shin, but we're kind of moving the foot, but the foot stays in line. So we're actually doing like this foot sweeping motion. And we're gonna do that nice and slow, side to side, right? Moving that side to side, getting that good movement in. You go nice and slow. Right? Now, the next thing is when somebody gets a hold of your leg and they're putting you at end range, that's where injuries can occur. So we want to start to strengthen at end range. Work on isometric control at those end ranges. So some ways you can do that by yourself is put your leg in that, or that shin in that end range position, and then we're going to provide some isometric resistance. So I'm going to use my hand, put it on the inside of my foot, and what I'm doing is providing some activation to push, trying to push my foot inward, but I'm resisting with my hand. You can start very light, kind of increase the tension as you choose. Very light, maybe about 10 seconds, and then relax. And you're gonna do that about 5 to 10 times, whatever you see fit, just to kind of activate that tissue, right? So we're gonna do that way. And the reason why we do this is because if you get put in a position with your leg and your foot's turned outward, that's where that can attack the knee. So having some more mobility and a little bit of a strength component there can help you, give you some time to tap, and hopefully reduce your risk of injury. Now we'll also do it in the opposite direction. We're gonna move the foot inward, take our hand, and we're going to that end range, and we're pushing this way. We're basically activating that muscle on the shin here, and we're trying to push, and we're actually working some of those muscles in the ankle as well, and the tendons, trying to strengthen those up as well. Again, you can do the same thing. Now, the other option to this is just to kind of strengthen in both directions at end ranges. We'll go this way, but now we can provide a little bit of stability and some resistance going outward as well. So we're pushing outward now with the foot and the shin rotated externally. And then we'll go the opposite direction, and you're gonna work on going inward. So this way, we're resisting, we're pushing the foot that way, we're resisting the opposite. And you can do that 5 to 10 reps. You can hold a little longer if you choose. You can also increase the tension or how much resistance you provide. Now the last thing you're gonna work on is some strengthening. We're gonna use a basic TheraBand, something fairly light. Put that around the kind of the ball of the foot here. And we're gonna work on that full motion rotation-wise. So we're gonna try to make sure that we're not compensating with our leg or our hip at all, and we're not using our ankle, but we're keeping our ankle still. We're getting the movement through the shin. And try to work that full range of motion, in, out. Nice and slow. You can do 10 reps of about 2 sets, nice and slow with the movement, and then we can go to the opposite side and work the opposite direction. You can even tie it around your other foot if you choose. And again, you're working on here, starting with the foot inward, shin facing inward, and working all the way out that range of motion as far as you can. Working that full range, great way to strengthen and to activate and to prime those legs. These are great exercises to do as rehab, good as a warm-up as well. But if you're not training these movements, these components, this rotational shin movement, you're missing out, and you could lead to some injuries. So if you want to make sure you keep your knees healthy, of course keep doing your squats, deadlifts, single leg exercises, but don't neglect the rotational component of the knee. Really important. Talk to you guys next time.